Hi, it's Marvi from Academic and welcome to another course with me. Are you ready to expand your vocabulary? Let's talk about it. In today's lesson, I'm going to take 12 of advanced English expressions and explain them in detail. I'll be explaining each new expression, and then after my explanation, you will see the example of that expression. Let's get started with the first one. Number 1, to a T. Okay, this is an idiom and it means perfectly, exactly. So if we say she looks like her mom to a T, we mean she looks like her mom exactly. We often use this expression to talk about directions or to follow some instructions. So the teacher might say, you need to follow these instructions to a T. So you need to follow the instructions exactly. Follow them to a T. Number 2, off the charts. This is a fun idiom and it means more than expected. We can imagine that maybe you're in some kind of a business meeting and there's a chart that shows the progress of the product that you're selling, and then all of a sudden the line goes off the chart. That means it was more than you expected. You didn't even have a chart big enough to show the growth of that product. But here it doesn't have to be the product we talk about. Her enthusiasm was way more than I expected. Her enthusiasm was off the charts. It doesn't have to be a positive thing though. You could say, our heating bill was off the charts last month. That means it was so high that I could have never expected that it would be so high. Our heating bill was off the charts. It was incredibly high. Number 3, to be paid under the table. What does that mean? Is it like literally paying under the table? Of course not. It just means to be paid or to get money illegally. If you work at a restaurant but you're not officially on a register as an employee of that restaurant, but instead they give you cash, that means you're paid under the table. And that's kind of common in the US. If you get a job when you're too young, the boss will probably just pay you in cash under the table. Most odd jobs are paid under the table. If you're a babysitter or if you walk your neighbor's dog, you're not gonna get a tax form that says that you're the babysitter for this person. No, it's just between two people. They just give you cash or they write you a little check, a personal check. It's under the table. Number 4, to crash somewhere. That doesn't mean that you break or destroy something, but instead it's just an informal expression that means you're gonna arrive somewhere. It doesn't need to be arriving somewhere uninvited, but it does have this casual feeling to it. You could say, we are going to crash their vacation. You can imagine that your parents have a vacation plan to go to Hawaii, and you and your husband or your wife are scheming a way to go there, to break into your parents' vacation, to crash into their vacation, and so that they can watch your kids and you can go out and have fun on vacation. This is not a nice situation and it's not gonna probably happen, but you can still say, we are going to crash their vacation. Or we can use this in less extreme situations. Maybe if you're taking a long road trip, and then halfway through the road trip, you're gonna be passing near where one of your friends lives. That friend might say, oh, it's too far to go in one day. You can just stop at my house and then drive the next day. So you might say, you can crash at my house. This means you can sleep there, you can just relax because driving all that distance in one day is too much. Feel free to crash at my house if you need to. Number 5, to make it work. Does this have to do with going to work and having a job? No, we're just talking about succeeding even though there are some difficulties. So when we were talking about the office space that we use to film in, my friend said we made it work. That means we made the small space of the office acceptable for what we needed. We made it work. The small space was difficult, but we still tried to succeed. Or if you want to have a little bit of a longer sentence, we could say, having a long distance relationship is tough, but we'll make it work. If your boyfriend's planning to move 300 miles away and you're not going to see him as often, you could say, having a long distance relationship is tough, yes, but don't worry, we'll make it work. We'll succeed despite difficulties. All right, let's move on to the next one. Number 6, up to. Here, we're not really talking about down and up, but we're talking about a maximum of something. Maybe we can talk about your car. If you love to drive fast, I don't really, but maybe you do, and you're looking for some kind of a sports car that can go really fast, you go to the store and you're gonna buy a new car, and the salesman says this car can drive up to 250 miles per hour. Wow, you can drive so fast. So that means he's trying to sell you on the maximum that car can drive. It can drive up to 250. Number 7, to not handle something. Or we could use it in a positive way and say to handle something, but it's most often used in a negative, and it means that you can't manage or you can't deal with something. I can't handle it. In a conversation with my friend, I said, my body can't handle this stress. That means that my body is not capable of managing the stress. I can't deal with this stress. Or if you have 2 small children, you might say, having a newborn and a toddler is hard to handle. Usually we use this in a negative situation. It's hard to handle. I can't handle it. It's not easy to handle. These types of negative situations when there is something that's really difficult to deal with or to manage. Number 8, outright. This means completely, immediately. We can give an example to this as we paid for our car outright. This means the day we purchased our car, we gave them cash, we wrote a check, we paid in full for the car. We paid completely and immediately for the car. We can also use outright in other situations to talk about completely, immediately, especially when someone dismisses your idea. Let's say you tell your husband for our next vacation, let's go skiing in the Alps. If he says no, let's not do that immediately, oh, that's kind of disappointing. But you could say he outright dismissed my idea. All right, the word outright is right before that verb to adverb describing dismissed. How did he dismiss your idea? He outright, immediately, completely dismissed your idea. He outright dismissed my idea, or he dismissed my idea outright. Number 9 is up to you. Notice we just talked about the expression up to. The car drives up to 250 miles per hour, but this expression is different. because we're adding a pronoun. It's up to you. It means that the responsibility is yours. When you have a team activity, when you're playing a sport with a team, it's not only your responsibility, it's the responsibility of the whole team to win. So you could say team sports are not all up to you. That's maybe why you like it, because it's not all up to you. If you're about to go to have a dinner for your birthday with a bunch of friends, your friends might say, well, it's up to you. It's your birthday. Where do you want to go? It's up to you. This is a really common expression that I used a lot in daily life. I don't know where I want to go. It's up to you. You choose. But make sure you add that pronoun at the end. It's up to you. Or if you're in a work situation and your coworker says, should we change this? Should we do this? You might say, it's up to the boss. I can't make that decision. I don't have that responsibility. It's up to the boss. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use this, but make sure that there's a person directly after up to. Up to you, up to him, up to the boss. All right, let's move on to the next expression. Number 10 is worth it. This means that the benefits outweigh the cost. We could also use this in a negative way and say, tea at Starbucks is never worth it. The benefits of the tea do not outweigh the cost, and the quality is not that great. The price is too high for the quality. It's not worth it. But of course, we can use this in a positive way too. You might say, we drove through the rain to get to the concert, but it was worth it. So you struggled a little bit to get to the concert, but the benefit of going to the concert was worth the cost. We're not talking about the monetary cost here, the price of the concert. Instead, we're talking about the struggle that we went through. I hope that the benefit of this lesson, the things that you're learning, are worth the time that you're spending. Number 11 is to take up something. This is a phrasal verb, and it's talking about starting an activity, but it's not necessarily talking about your interest. It's talking about really starting that activity. One of my friends was talking about starting the activity of hockey. His brother said, you should play hockey. So his brother convinced him to start hockey or take up hockey. Number 12, the last one, icing on the cake. I love this idiom, and it means an additional benefit or negative item. When you have a cake, on the outside is the creamy frosting, or we can call that icing, the outside. Without that icing, a cake is pretty good, but icing, when you have icing, that's just one more thing that makes that cake great. But we could also use this idiom in some negative situations, like it was icing on the cake when our cat bit the headphones. One more negative thing. Or if you're talking about someone's personality, you could say, well, the teacher was great at explaining things, but her humor was icing on the cake. A good teacher is good at explaining things. A good teacher doesn't need to be funny, but when a teacher is funny, that is icing on a cake. It's one additional benefit. Her humor was icing on the cake. It made the class just a little bit more enjoyable. Congratulations! You've just learned 12 great advanced English expressions that you can use in daily conversations. Thank you for learning with me, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Bye!